Howdy Pro subscribers. This will be a raw, unedited video. I'm just going to go through as much as I can in 30 minutes and send it off to you. I want to say thank you, first of all, for being a Pro Alerts subscriber. Many of you have paid for an annual membership. Some of you are paying for a monthly membership, and you guys keep me at this spreadsheet, keeping it going, keeping it going, keeping it going, keeping it going. So what I have here is May the 12th, when most of the alts made a low, and we had a bunch of them hitting our stop losses. And then we come around to May the 17th, all of a sudden they've made a bottom, they're consolidating, and it's a whole bunch of 1, 2, 3 formations on the 4-hour time frame. So what I do is I try to go through all of them that qualify, that look like they're worth doing any kind of trade on, and I write up the alert for it, I put it out there, and it's like throwing all of these 1, 2, 3 formations through a sieve. And those that make it through are the ones that we end up holding. So there is a cost to doing this. You can see that we're risking an average of a little over 10% per trade, say 15, 16% per trade. So if I put in $100, I'm risking $16 on each of these. And so you got to judge which ones are good for you. I'm trusting that you're going to go at the speed that's comfortable for you, but I recommend like 0.5% of your entire portfolio for any one of these coins. And so if you were doing $10,000, you could only put $50 into each of these coins. And then you'd be risking $5, $7, a little bit less than $5, a little bit more than $5, $5, $7, $10 out of that 50 for each of these trades. And over time, as we throw them into these sieves to sort them out, it does work out. However, I do want to point out that the 1, 2, 3s on the 4-hour time frame, and part of the reason I'm collecting this data is so that I can point it out again definitively, is the fact that the 1, 2, 3 formations on the 4-hour time frame often bump up as they break out. They go into a Bollinger Band mean reversion sell signal, which pushes them back down. It hits the number 3 point of the 1, 2, 3 that we're looking at here, kicks most of those trades out, and then they mature a little bit and they turn into really good quality 1, 2, 3 formations on the 12-hour time frame. So now we have all the data. All of these coins went into hold status, and some of them kicked themselves out right away. We had another wave of alerts, and a bunch of those, plus the prior alerts, went into hold status. And then another wave of alerts as I filtered through things, and a bunch of those are going into hold. Now they're coming back against that sieve, and they're filtering themselves out, and those that, they're kicking themselves out here. The question is that I have with all of these coins now is to go through the chart and to see, did ALCX make a 1, 2, 3 formation that is still valid now? ALCX. So this is the kind of thing that I want to filter out, and I'm not going to redo an alert for yet because we have new lows. So that goes into a whole different pile, and I kick it out of here. It's not in our alert pile at all now. And so I'll go through each of these coins in that spreadsheet, and I'll re-sort out everything that's been kicked out to see if it's worth reviewing. And those that are worth reviewing, I will put a new alert out for those, and we'll continue tracking it out. I'm hoping to see, let's go to API 3, AP. So this would go back now to alert status. And I'll leave it in alert just for my own review here, but it's not actually an alert in the spreadsheet yet. It has to now build up a little bit more, like it's good. This would be what might be a springboard trade entry. And I hope we find an example here in the next, we still have 20 minutes. So the springboard, if I zoom in on this and zoom in on it again, it's still not enough. It needs its own little 1, 2, 3 formation here at the 3 point in the larger 1, 2, 3. So when it has its own little 1, 2, 3 there, we could use that as a springboard entry and be aggressive and get in on that right there. But we have to babysit that trade and only hold it if it proves us correct. We can't put a stop loss down below and just let it come down and hit our stop loss. The other thing I want to talk about is that as I'm spreadsheeting this stuff, that's all I can do is put a stop loss in, wait for it to hit that stop loss. It filters everything out, and we just go on with which are good, and I can put that alert back on. If I'm trading that as a pro, then I wouldn't leave it until it comes back to hit my stop loss. I'd be in there watching that entry, and I'd be putting that trade on, and I would be moving my stop immediately up above my entry, and I would only hold it if it proved me correct. I would be really aggressive on managing the risk right at the very beginning of the trade if I'm trading it like a pro. So the markets that I do trade out of this entire spreadsheet, I'm managing the stops differently than just letting it come back and hit my stop. And we'll talk more about that. It's an important philosophy of the difference between letting the market prove you wrong and letting the market prove you right. We are supposed to be in control of when we are wrong as a pro trader. As a spreadsheet doing studies, all I can do is put the stop loss there, let it hit, do the studies afterwards. So let's continue on. I'm going to drag this spreadsheet out of the way. And while I'm here, you can see that the alerts are definitely pulling back in the altcoin opportunity index. And this is just a simple EMA crossover strategy. And the EMA is crossed on the small time frame, but not on the large time frame. So it's already saying get out of these few coins that we just got into. So it's not a strong bull market in the alts right now yet. And we'll see, because that one's tuned for a different time frame. What I want to do now is continue going down that list. The next one is CELR. So it was in hold status, and it's pulled back. So I had the stop loss up pretty aggressive on that one. And I'm going to move that back into alert status, and it'll quickly move back into alert status. I'd like to have a piece of this. And the coins that I'm trying to look to establish a piece of are those coins that are holding above the 2021 lows. Anywhere, if they're holding above a low from the past, and then they are coming down into any kind of parallel channel. Wherever you do it, it's sort of subjective, right? You could draw them out in all sorts of different ways. And at the bottom of that parallel channel, there is a 1, 2, 3. This is the real thing on the chart. Everything else is to help to identify the 1, 2, 3. All of the relative strength index, the MACD indicator, the Ichimoku cloud, and the Bollinger Bands could all be applied to each individual market like this to help ensure that we're getting into a 1, 2, 3 that's healthy, and it's not going to be a fake out breakout that's going to come back and kill us. So I would definitely, on the markets I'm trading $500 or more as I'm getting in, I would go through that whole process on that, and then babysit that $500 so that I really manage that well, and then it's up to the market. That's especially now for all of these coins. I want to filter them all out, and if I can get my stop loss above the entry, boom, I've got a position in this. Later, we can look at doing trades in these markets, but these positions, we may never sell out of them because of how low these are. And as they continue to go lower, I'm going to keep ratcheting that down and watching for that bottom so that I can get a position there that I hold for maybe 5 years, and it'll turn into 1,000 times profit. And no kidding, like it's just on the chart right here from, what's that, 56 to 500 Satoshi in 1 year. It's mind-boggling. So we just absolutely have to do the work to be prepared for that. Still blows my mind. Let's continue on. Okay, it's on the other side. GL, the next one is in the G panel. GLMR. So this one was in hold status, but I hadn't marked it into the color coding here. And I'll leave it as alert because it's still holding these bottoms. Maybe it came back and kicked out the stop loss that I happened to stick on the chart, but this is still holding well, so I want to keep an eye on it. Litecoin was the next coin that got an exit, LTC. And yeah, that was a protective stop that actually worked. So I'll change that back, and it's not even in alert status yet. I'll have to keep watching it because it does not have enough. It's a double bottom, so it'll have to mature over the next few days, and maybe it'll turn into a potential for a springboard, and I would like that myself because I have been accumulating Litecoin and sticking it away, and accumulating Litecoin and sticking it away, and accumulating Litecoin and sticking it away. And maybe like other markets that I see that they pumped and they're bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. I'm not doing anything with them. This is an exception, and it is probably, maybe it's going to cost me money. It's just going to keep going down from here. But it is a twin of Bitcoin, and it has been upgraded with all of the recent upgrades of Bitcoin technology. So I think this is a place to accumulate a little bit. I think I'm a little over heavy in it when I look at the chart again here. So MO mover is another one that hit alert status, and it's got itself kicked out. So if I go into the 4-hour time frame, which is what I was focusing on here. So it just got wicked in, no doubt, got wicked in and then came back just under that 3 point and just touched out. So it's like exactly where my entries and exits would be. So let's look at that screenshot. Exactly. Boom. So I was even more aggressive with the stop loss here. Just got wicked in and stopped out. So if I got wicked in and I was watching it and I saw it pulling back, it wasn't proving me correct, it didn't go up and through and hold above, I just close it and I wouldn't let it come back to hit the stop. But either way, whatever this lost on this, it was 9%. So if I put in $50, I lost 5 of it there. And then I'll put that $50 in again if it cracks above these levels. So the other argument, the other art and science of stop loss is to make this trade small enough and leave your stops wide enough that you're giving it $9 instead of 5, and it reduces your work by 80%. So there, you have to gauge, and if I'm doing the pro trading, I'm sitting right there and I'm not holding it unless it proves me correct. So I'm only doing $2, if that. If I'm going to do a lazy crypto smartwatch trend following plan, it uses the EMAs to get in and out. So maybe we'll find one of those, because once you get in on the 12-hour EMA, it doesn't have a stop loss below. It gets you out on the 4-hour EMA cross. That allows the market to be super wild without getting you out. So you start with a very small trade, and it's like taking a wild dog on a walk. You put a firm stick that's 6 feet long and then a leash at the end of that, so you can hold that dog 6 feet away from you, and that leash is only 2 feet long. The dog can't actually come and bite you, even if he wants to. So you got a violent dog. This is the way you hold it away from you and take it for a walk, right? This is what we're doing at the beginning of our trade. We've got this wild dog. We're giving it room, but we're keeping it on our firm stick until it goes, off the path, and then we let go of the stick. So this is what the 1, 2, 3. That's what the crypto smartwatch is like at the very beginning of the trade, and we could do that in the pro alerts as well. Then the point is here would be to, if you had $500 to invest in this, you would put 50 up right here. You would leave your stop loss back this far. And you'd be determined that when it comes down and does another, you'd do $50 again. So you'd put your $50 in, you lost 9. You put your $50 in, you lost 9. You put your $50 in, you lost 9. All the way down till you do get your $50 in, the price moves up above your stop, you put your stop loss in, now you've got a position that in time is going to make back all that you chipped out in your little loss, your little loss, your little loss, your little loss. It'll make that back pretty quick. And since you're now proven correct and you're in the market when it has changed direction, now we can shop for the real heavy trade. As it consolidates past support and resistance from the past, this is when we put on the big money. So all the way along here, as we're chipping money out, as we're coming down, we're just being ready. We're being ready to have that lower risk big trade after the market changes direction. Even as a pro, we're still waiting for the market to really change direction. I'm not looking to scalp here. I'm looking to establish a position and really make the big money over time. And if you haven't already, be sure to get the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. I recommend it, and this whole trading system is based on the 1, 2, 3 pattern, looking at the average of all of the markets and then following what I learned from reading that book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. I read that book a dozen times at least, and super recommend it. Now, the next coin that has been gone to exit status that I wanted to take a look at to be double checking, and I'm going to continue throughout the entire list here. It is N. So far they're going kind of alphabetical. NKN. So I hope this has been helpful. Here's one that is built very good. So again, probably just tagged me in knowing the 1, 2, 3s and the stop loss level. You know, here is the risk. What is this? NKN. Let's go over to the Bollinger Bands, where Bitcoin is holding the number 3 point and giving us a springboard trade entry right there. There's our 1, 2, 3. It's making its own 1, 2, 3. If it breaks above the 29,200, that's a springboard trade entry right there. And we're looking for NKN, NKN. What are you telling us in the Bollinger Bands? If I go back to the 4-hour time frame, okay, it wasn't really a breakout that gave a Bollinger Band mean reversion. Just that 1, 2, 3 hasn't matured much, but I do like what it's doing here. That it's giving that Bollinger Band mean reversion on the 12-hour time frame is pretty good. And that it touched on the 1-hour time frame gives us the potential for a 1, 2, 3 on the smaller time frame. That as a pro looking for the bottom, we could sit here with our $500 knowing that we're only going to hold it if it proves us correct. We've got a risk to reward ratio that's pretty crazy. And I would sit and I would babysit this because it's coming so close to support and resistance levels. We could zoom right in on this and use the 1, 2, 3s on the super small time frame. Only hold it if it proves us correct, and then off we go. Maybe not this coin specifically. Maybe it's too low of liquidity, and I would check all of that before and know more about the specific coin. But this pattern is good for instruction. There it is again. As soon as I see that, that candle pattern is what's grabbing my attention. Those reversal candles and this inside candle build-up on the 4-hour time frame. That's a good one. So it's out of hold status, but I'm going to keep it in alert status. And the next one is Quantum, that got kicked out as an exit. PQ. Quantum's like a favorite of mine because of the name of it. But anyway, it's holding above support and resistance from the past. It's down in a parallel channel down that has nice clear trend line. That makes the break of that trend line easier to see. And the trend line, of course, got broken, and then it didn't matter because the 1, 2, 3 failed, and we had all these reversal candles up along the top here. Now we have reversal candles on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3. This is the kind of thing I was watching for. And I'm not sure when I got kicked out, but I was in on the 4-hour time frame. So you know it right there. So if I go to Quantum now, PQ Quantum, 4-hour time frame, Bollinger Band, mean reversion, sell signal right on that breakout. Love it. And what did it do? It came right down to the number 3 point, kicked me out. What did it give me for a loss? What a perfect example. 7.3% loss. So this is why trading the 1, 2, 3 formation on the 4-hour time frame is often a bitch slap process over and over and over. And I'm glad that I'm documenting this so that it just makes me more patient to sit and wait for that 12-hour EMA cross. Or if I am playing these, I play them super small and I'm super skeptical about it. Maybe I could even be a short-term trader that looks for these Bollinger Band mean reversion sell signals on the 1, 2, 3 bottom breakouts, because all the way along you would have caught all of those bulls right at the top as it came outside that third standard deviation. You're just going sell. Oh yeah, you're bullish, sell. Oh, you're bullish, sell. So if you know the 1, 2, 3 pattern and you know the breakout and the Bollinger Band mean reversion, you don't have to trade as a bull all the time on these. We just got to know the markets that have the futures so that we can be doing that. And what great entertainment to do as Pro Alerts subscribers is to start bringing these trades into the Pro Alerts journal. And let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's even if we're just marking it out and we're not actually trading it, to become aware of it and to be talking about it and to do the brain mapping basically so that your brain sees it. Okay, I'm on the wrong panel. Alpha is what I'm going to. Alpha. All right. Does your brain see the reversal candles there and that price came back to hit the number 3 point? And this is alpha. I'm on the right panel now. Alpha. There it is again. I love it, actually. The Bollinger Band mean reversion sell signal right down to the number 3 point. It'll consolidate and it'll go for a nice buy signal in the 12-hour time frame. And it'll be another beautiful example of it. Let's go down to VET is the next one that exited. So that's the right panel there. Let's go to VET here. Who has more fun than people, I say? Boom, again. You know what? I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. Let's do one more. AVA and Secret is closer on this panel, so I got to do this panel first. I got to do this Secret. So this gets right out of the list. It's like a downtrending. It's got a whole new number 1 point. But is that a Bollinger Band mean reversion sell signal there? Raise your hand. Secret. Kinda weak, but yeah, it touched that third standard deviation and then just like down. So when it hits that, you've got to be a little patient, I guess. But most times when it goes outside that third standard deviation, especially when we are in a market where it's red. So this is really, I do these studies and I'm so grateful that you guys are here so that I'm doing these studies. I like to say that I would do them anyway, but I know that if I feel guilty if I'm not doing it. 1, 2, 3 hammered me now and consolidate into the 12-hour EMA. So we'll watch to see if it goes into alert and then into hold status properly according to the simple trading plan. Oh, this is the simple trading plan. So that's got the same settings on right now. They're different indicators that I have here. They're both the smartwatch. This is tuned to identical right now, but it changes different when I go onto a smaller time frame. It'll rewrite and give me a different entry for different time frames. where the auto EMA indicator, which is the crypto smartwatch, that one is locked to the 12 and 4 hour time frames, and it shows me those 12 and 4 hour time frames while I'm on different time frames. So it's locked to show me the alert status for the 4 hour EMA crosses, and it keeps showing me the status of that trade no matter what time frame I'm in. So they're useful, each of them. What's another one? Secret TKO AVA. Nothing down. Okay, let's go take a look at cake, because it's in this panel. So cake was in a hold status. You can see it got into alert status according to the simple trading plan. So on the 4 hour time frame, it did a 1, 2, 3. It broke out above that, and it came back and tested just below the number 3 point on the 4 hour time frame. And we're going to look at cake. So it didn't get outside that 4 hour EMA. It just it's been sort of easing back and forth within that downward trend. So as soon as it makes that 1, 2, 3 formation, I've got to track it out. I got to play it. So that wraps us up here. 26 minutes. I do want to say that the altcoins are, softening back a little bit, but a lot of them are not breaking below those number 3 points. And so this is an early warning. All of these coins that made it up into alert status in this, and all of the coins that have made it recently into alert status in the crypto smartwatch recently, those are going to be interesting. And in the crypto smartwatch, you can go to the alerts and then scroll down to the current time. Let me double check that it's all still pulling in, because I have to update it manually sometimes. Here are the recent alerts that would be worth looking at here. And you will also have access to it's not here. I don't have it up. But the rest of it is over on the website for the Pro Alerts. And if you're not already familiar with it, be sure to, you've got the data here in the Pro Alerts. You can see the data from today that's pulled in. You can see the data that's in Binance for our hold and our alert status coins. And there's a bunch of different information about the portfolios in there. But I also want you to know that there's information in the crypto smartwatch area that is important for us as well. So in the crypto smartwatch area, use the alt versus BTC auto spreadsheet as well as the crypto smartwatch control panel. The crypto smartwatch control panel is the spreadsheet itself that Chandra updates for us every day. And Chandra and I meet daily pretty much to talk about all the different alts. The alt BTC auto spreadsheet is similar, but it's tuned differently. It's a little bit more sensitive. And every day it spits out data of what are the action coins, things that happened new today. So there may be coins that are in alert status from before, but these are the things that that are new in the last couple days. So it narrows down the information a little bit more for us. And I find it really handy just to look at these things that are new alerts that have come up into the status that are new, and the ones that are new holds. There are others that are already holds and others that are already alerts, but they don't come up in these lists. It limits our work down to what we need to pay attention to. Then it also gives us the partial and full exits. We do get this data in the crypto smartwatch spreadsheet. We go to today and yesterday inside the panel, inside the spreadsheet itself, and it gives us that data. And then we have the other spreadsheet that is pulled into the website so that you get the data here, the smartwatch. Same thing with the alt versus USD auto spreadsheet. it does the same thing. It brings in the data, but it's alt versus USD, and it's only a few different pairs because that's also given away for free over on the Altcoin Opportunities website. So it's a limited bit of data. So I hope that helps you go through these different chart patterns, understand which ones are failing, why they're failing, and that actually getting these small losses right now doesn't mean we should ignore these coins at all. We have to filter through them and get back into them if they do finish out this bottom. It may be that 4-hour EMA was too early and we got a whole bunch of those Bollinger Band mean reversion sell signals. And those we could continue shopping for so long as we go to the 12-hour time frame and the chart is red. We could certainly be looking for those 4-hour EMA, 4-hour Bollinger Band mean reversion sell signals as we are in the red, because we're in a downtrend. We're looking for those sell signals. We're looking for those bulls to be overeager and to dump on them in the markets that let us go short, right? Especially we got a 1, 2, 3 top formation. We've already switched to an exit and we get the Bollinger Band mean reversion sell signal. Boom, money to be made. And we're going to watch for those, but right now we're just watching for the turnaround and the bottom formation for my own part. And like I say, in those markets that are still red, tell me the story. If you're shorting them, I want to know. Cheers. Bye for now.